How we doing? How we doing? Yo. All right, let me make sure. Let me just test the stream real quick. Make sure we're on Twitch.
Hours.
All right, we're live on Twitch. Let's just check YouTube. All right, we are live. We are live. What's good? What's good, guys? All right, let's wait for a few people to get in here. Okay, seems like we got some people in here. What up, DJ Mecca? What's good? What's good? How's my audio? How's my mic? Is it sounding good? All right, seems like we are good to go. I'm just gonna wait for a few more people to get in. I'm just gonna kind of mess around a bit. Sounds good, sounds good. Awesome, we got some people on YouTube. Let me make sure TikTok's going. All right. Yo, Sumek, what's good? Cool. All right, dope. We are live on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna get started. This one's gonna be a little bit shorter because I gotta be done by 7 o'clock flat. I'm going to the Eagles game tonight. Just super last second going with my boys. It's gonna be a good time. So anyway, let's get into it. I got some cool stuff to talk about today. It's felt like a long time since the last stream. Yo, first question already coming from TikTok. These headphones are Audeze LCDXs. They're really dope. If you're looking at getting them though, I would get the closed back version. Yeah, this week was crazy. I played a show in San Diego and it was absolutely insane. Such a good time. Got to play under under an overpass. It was so much fun. So yeah, I'm getting back into the swing of things, producing, and then so real quick, there's actually not going to be a stream next Thursday. I'm going to LA and then I have a show in San Francisco on the 2nd, but I'm going to LA on the 31st. So I won't be able to stream. So the next stream after that will be not next Thursday, but the following Thursday, whatever that is. So let's get into it. Like always, I have this kick that I made off stream. One of these days, I'm gonna... Let's see, actually. Would you guys want to see how to make something like this? Do you want me to start with like how I make these kick racks? This is like my stock like template when I'm making kicks. Let me see, 4x Vision 4x Master. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. What's your producer name you release music under? My name is Hellbound. So I release music under the name Hellbound. I DJ under the name Hellbound. I own a label called Nullsect where we release music and play shows. So if you're into techno, definitely check that stuff out. What's your wait, have you ever spent any time doing more industrial kicks or just focused on hard techno? I sort of do a little bit of everything. Like I really enjoy industrial stuff, but it kind of just depends what sort of mood I'm in. Like sometimes I'm in a mood to like sound design kicks, and then other times I'm in a mood to like use the stuff I sound design to like write. And based on whatever I'm feeling like I want to do, it kind of determines like what kind of style I want to make. Sometimes I want to make like some hard techno shit that'll like go off in a club. Other times I want to make some really like angry industrial stuff. Lately I've been in more of like a hard techno kind of vibe. But let's call this Techno multi-band fat. Okay. So I'm gonna real quick just show you guys how I make. Yo, synthesizer, what's good? Where is this kick sample from? Sorry, I'm plugging my phone in. It's got to charge. This kick sample is coming. It's on our upcoming sample pack. We're doing a hard techno sample pack. That'll be in that. If you ever find the time, love to hear your take on how BSLS or achieve those big ass kicks. Yo, send me some of those tracks. If you're in the Discord, send me some of those tracks. I'd love to take a listen to them and do a video on them. Ooh, need that coffee. Need that coffee. All right. So let's talk about how I make these kick racks. So when I'm making a kick for a track and I'm writing a track, it's a lot different from when I'm sound designing kicks. So when I'm sound designing kicks, I'm making the kick sample, and that's a totally different process for when I make my kick loops for tracks. So I have all these kick samples that I made for this upcoming hard techno pack. And they sound really good. But if I just drag them onto a track and loop it and play and hit play, it doesn't sound bad, but I can take it a lot further by making a group that has delay processing, reverb processing, and this allows me to have more control over the kick. So what I normally start with is a MIDI track, and I open up a sampler. And I'll find a kick that I like. I really like this second kick. It has like a groove on it. And so a lot of these kicks, these samples, they have so much mid and high, and they have delays and grooves like baked into them. And that's what I want, because what I can do is if I put this kick in a sampler, I can tame the kick, but it will still retain that same groove and information. It kind of sounds a little confusing, but I'll show you. So first, I'll pick my kick, put it into a sampler, and then I'm going to make a 1-bar MIDI clip. And then I'll go to C3. I don't know why this is on a weird scale. I'll go to C3 and make a quarter note pattern. So if we hit play. Also, real quick, how are my levels? Is my voice and the music, like, is one like way louder than the other? Just let me know. Just because I just changed my settings and I don't want. Perfect, great, awesome. I was hoping that it would be. All right. Yeah, these kicks are going to be in the sample pack. So I make a MIDI clip, make MIDI notes at C3 and a quarter note pattern. So if we hit play, it sounds like this. But the reason I like to put my kicks into a sampler rather than just using the audio is because if we go into this filter/global tab, there is a built-in filter in this sampler. So if we drag the cutoff down on this filter, it only lets the lows come through. And so the reason I like that is because since we're using MIDI, every time a MIDI note is triggered, there's this filter envelope that's triggered, the same as like an amplitude envelope. So if we go to here, this is the filter envelope amount. And as we drag this up, you'll start to hear the punch or the transient of the kick poke through, but then we're able to clamp down on the tail of the kick so we get a nice clean low end. So I like having all the character in the kick because if I want, I can play around with this cutoff. And now you can hear that groove, but it's a lot more tame than this. So that is my starting point. So then from there, I'm gonna make 2 more tracks, and these are gonna be like return tracks. Sorry, Tyler asked, can I do that with an EQ also? So the reason why you can't do this with an EQ is because if you were to just cut the highs off, you won't have that that punch going through. But if you wanted to automate it, like if you wanted to automate this low pass shape that we did on the EQ, you could, but the Ableton automation isn't nearly as responsive as MIDI and envelopes. So if we were to press play on this, that doesn't sound terrible. Maybe it's the filter. I've tried this with the filter. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. I've tried this with the auto filter and it has not worked, but I haven't tried it with the EQ. Yes, exactly. That's why. Doing this with the auto filter does not work. I do not know why. It just does not work. Envelopes are so 2022. Nah, envelopes are forever, honestly. But I am so shocked, Tyler, that you can do that with an EQ8. I will say I still would prefer doing it with the sampler just because if I want to, I can just change it that easily. I don't need to like mess with the automation for everything. But you learn something new every day. Did not know you could do that. So we have our kick, and then we're gonna make these 2 return tracks. We're gonna make these 2 return tracks. So what I want to do with these return tracks is place all my effects, all my rhythmic effects. So we can call this one high delay. We can call this one low delay. And we can get creative from there, but this is my starting point. So what I'm gonna do is, let me move this so everyone on TikTok can see real quick. So we have these 2 tracks, and what I'm gonna do is select both of these. And right here, if you can't see this little section, it's because your ins and outs aren't selected. You're gonna wanna make sure that this button right here is selected. And with both of these tracks highlighted, you're gonna go to where it says, whatever it'll say, it's this top drop down, and you're gonna select your kick. So we'll call this main kick. And this way, if we set both of these tracks to in, these tracks are gonna be receiving this main kick. And we're gonna select this to post effects, not post mixer. So what we wanna do is, let's turn off this low delay first. And I'm gonna go back. What we wanna do is we wanna create like a delay track. So I'm gonna open up delay, and I'm gonna leave it, hold on. Yo, M Crespo, yeah, I did. So that I'm gonna go into that again though. I'm talking about that today. So let me start this over real quick. We're gonna open up a delay, and then what I want to do is this button where it says stereo link, I want to turn that off because I want to set the first delay rate to 1 and then the second delay rate to 3. Then from there, I'm gonna turn the dry wet all the way up. So if we solo this, it's super stereo. So what we wanna do is not just turn off ping pong, because you're still gonna hear it bouncing around from left to right. So what I wanna do is add a utility and then turn on mono. So now we have that groove, and if we play it with the kick, that's really what I'm aiming for. So what I want to do is turn the feedback down a bit. And then I want to add a kickstart too, because I want to add some sidechain to this. And actually, wait, no, I want to add an LFO tool so we can add some sidechain. The reason I'm using LFO tool is so I can shape this however I want. Because sometimes I want the beginning transient to really like poke through. And that's how we get that kind of groove. But from here, I'm gonna process the hell out of it. So usually I like to turn on an overdrive. And then maybe I'll add an amp. Maybe I don't want an amp. Sometimes I just like how the overdrive sounds. So maybe on this second LFO tool, here, hold on. So we'll add this overdrive, and I really like just playing around with this filter. Turn the volume down a bit. Then I think what I want to do is add another LFO tool. And now I'm really starting to get a groove that I like. So then what we can do is, I've been using this plugin called K-Clip 0. This is a free clipping plugin by Kazrog. And what we can do is link this and just start shaving off those peaks so it's a little less dynamic. And so if we play it together, that's the shape I want. That is like the groove that I want. So that's nice for a like top to mid sort of delay. So what I'm gonna do is copy this down to the low delay. And actually what I wanna do before I do that, let's put an EQ on here. Yeah, let's put an EQ on here, and we're gonna put this before the K-clip, and I'm gonna cut out these lows. And then maybe what I want to do is make a high cut as well. Yeah, that sounds really good. I have a ton of kick loops that will be great for the high end, but I want to make sure that this mid is really nice and groovy and just sounds great. All right. So then I'm going to drag this same group. I'm going to control drag so we copy it to the low delay. And let's start working on this. So for the low delay, I want this to be like a sub rumble. And we already have low end coming from this kick. So I'm still gonna high cut it at like 80 Hertz or so. I just wanna have a groove in that area. So those are like my two grooves that I have. I have a high delay, a low delay. And then what I like to do is usually throw in like some sort of top kick loop. And I have a bunch of these that I've already made that are going to be in this next Techno pack. And typically I'll just take something like this and maybe if I don't like that one, there we go. I'll add this one and then also open up the filter on this high delay a little bit as well. So now we have our kick group, and this is how I make the loops for my tracks. So we'll call this main kick. And then all I want to do is on the actual group of the kick, I'll start to apply some processing as well. So the first thing that I want to apply is a saturator. And then I'm just going to flip this drop down and hit soft sign. And right off the bat, this should sound a lot beefier and more distorted. And so what I'm also going to do is open up size scope so I can see what's actually going on. So it's essentially just making it louder, making it a bit more compressed. What I can also do is maybe throw in an EQ, and then also I'm going to throw in that K clip 0. So no matter what we do with the EQ, we're not going to be clipping over 0. And so I'm just going to clean up some of the mud in like 350. And I've noticed this because the only reason I started doing this is I've noticed my kicks are really like mid heavy. And again, in the kick samples, I like having that because it's a lot easier to cut for me than to boost. But I've noticed that because if I look at like other techno kicks, like some of these Vengeance ones, I've noticed that they have this punch and then this little dip, and then it sort of sweeps back up. So to me, it's like a pinched sort of effect. So sometimes I'll do that with volume, but sometimes I'm able to achieve the same result with like an EQ. And to me, this area sounds good cutting, and this is way too much. So whenever I find the point to where I'm like cutting and EQing, I usually like divide it in two. So I'm gonna duplicate this across, and since we have our top loops, what I'm then gonna do is I'm gonna resample both of these. So I'm gonna set the input for this track to our high delay, and I'll set the input for this track to our low delay. And I'm going to record enable both of them and then go back to the beginning and hit record. Okay, so now we can turn off our delay sends because we have the loops that we want. So we'll call this high delay flat, and then we'll call this low delay flat. Let's drag these to the top, take these down to the bottom, and we'll call this top loop 1. So for these waveforms are really small. What you can do is if you ever find that the waveforms are really small, a really quick trick that you can do is you can select both of them, hit Command J to consolidate, and then if you hit Shift Tab, you can click on, you know, your first loop. We'll call this high delay flat. It says it's at negative 26 dB. So what I can do is take that to -1 and then drop this down negative 26, which would be, oh my God, I'm bad at math. Maybe negative 41. And we'll do the same thing here. This is at negative 20. We'll minus to -1. So we'll take that to 19. That would be 34. And let's play that. The reason I want to do that too is so there's not that delay tail. It's like I can hit pause and it's perfect. So from there, I have a really cool rack called RY Techno Kick Repeater. It's Techno Kick Variation. I love this rack. This is absolutely coming out in the next pack, and it's just such a time saver. So the repeater does exactly what it says it's going to do. It's going to repeat the kick because sometimes I want to punch it in and do something like this. And that's cool. That's definitely great and doable and fine. But I like having this repeater on because to me, it's just a tiny bit easier. And also I'll show you why as well. So I can click the repeater and drag this up. And if we hit play, So that's too fast. Let's bring it down a little bit. And then we can make like a little 16th note. So then I want to end the phrase with a eighth note kick, like a double kick. But at the very end, if I drag this all the way up, it'll actually reverse the kick. And that is exactly what I want. So, and the reason why this is called kick variation is because we have a kick high pass as well. So what I'm gonna do is for this last bar of the phrase, I'm gonna high pass the kick, and then I'm gonna take away the high pass for this last double kick. So if we listen. And that's my kick loop. That sounds really good. So then I'm gonna duplicate this a bit. And actually, no, I'm not gonna duplicate it. Let's just work on this phrase. So that is my kick. It's a little bit long-winded, but I save this kick rack, and this is what I use in every track I make. The reason why is because if we take the original kick out, and let's just arrange this so we can listen to it. This is the original kick. And that's the new kick. It's a lot groovier, it's a lot cleaner, but I wouldn't have been able to get there unless I had this really beefy kick filled with character and groove. All right, so I just talking a lot. Let me go through some of these questions and comments. I feel like I missed a bunch. Yo, Twisted Silk, what is good? How's everyone doing today? Let him cook. All right, hold on. What is going on? All right, so that is how I make my kicks. I think what I want to talk about now is there's this brand new plugin. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's called Arturia Acid V, and it is so sick. I only have the demo right now. Yeah, I just have the demo right now, but it is awesome. I love it so much. So I've been using Phasion 2 for a while, and I just saw that this plugin came out the other day, and I had to try it. And the user interface is so sick. The sound is incredible. And that's one of the reasons why I loved Phasion so much, is the sound was so good, and it was better than any acid sound in any VST or hardware that I've ever used. So I've been using Phasion 2 for the longest time. So, but I really wanted to give this a try, and this is right there with it. I love the sound of this. Let me answer some questions real quick. Discord link is broken for some reason. I cannot join. Where is it broken? Is it broken in the YouTube? Let me, here, I just posted it in the chat. Yeah, and that's what I really like about this, M Crespo, is it's broken on TikTok link. It's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me type in. So if you guys go, I don't know how. Oh, and yeah, I'll go over AS steps for sure. So our Discord is like, it's on our Twitch, it's on our YouTube, it's everywhere. I can't fix it right now, but You guys can find it. So if I just hit play, oh my God, I gotta turn this. What I want to do is just make a 1-bar MIDI clip, and I'm just gonna make a MIDI note at C3, and then I'm gonna hit legato. So that will extend the MIDI note all the way across, and then I'll just loop it. If we solo this acid, like right off the bat, I'm like, ooh, that sounds really good. But what I love about this is the classic acid sequencer is really hard to use. It's cool because you can punch in the gates and the notes and the slides and the accents separately, but it's really confusing to use. So what you can do is if you click where it says pattern under pattern, and again, I'm using this for literally the first time today. I don't know this plugin like front to back, like I one day will. But what you can do is, I don't even know how do I get back to that? Okay. What? I'm so confused. Hold on. All right, let's close this, open it again. So if we click this pattern right here, it will bring up our sequencer. And so you can pick sequencer presets from here. So maybe they have, do they have Blade? Blood Pump, maybe that's it. Yeah, like this is the Blade Acid preset. So what you can do though is, what I like to do is right click all these, delete all the notes, delete all the slides, delete all the octaves. And what you basically can do is just drag these notes in. So we just have 16th notes going across at F. So I'm gonna go into the effects. I'm gonna turn this phaser off. We'll get into the effects and the modulation, but first I want to go over the sequencer. So we have 16th notes at F. And so what we can do is we can click along the sequencer. And we can pick different kind of scales. So right now we're in chromatic, and I just got lucky on these note selections. But something I like to do is use Phrygian. So this is in C Phrygian, I think. Let me see. Oh, I see. Okay. So by default, everything is working from the key of C. So what I would do is, I originally wanted to make this, I wanted to make this acid pattern in F, but I think what I want to do is make 16th notes across in C, and then go to my MIDI clip and transpose that up to F. So now when I select the Phrygian scale, yep, now it's snapping into the Phrygian scale. And if you're wondering what notes are in this scale, you can see right here, I think this gray note stands for the root note. And then all the notes in green are part of the scale. So let's play with the kick. So it sounds really great already. So we have our pattern, and this is just our MIDI pattern, but down here we can add slides, accent, and vibrato. Vibrato I really don't mess with that much, but the slides are definitely great. So on top of that, the next thing I like to do is punch in the accents. And the accents, I just like to sort of place randomly and see what I get. So I really like that. Then we can play with the octave as well. So by default, all these are at -1. Let's change them all to 0. Oops. So we'll change these all to 0. So the range is -1, 0, 1, and 2. So we'll change all these to 0, and then I'm going to go into the MIDI clip and drop the MIDI note down an octave. So I really like that pattern, but I think we can take the actual sound a lot further. And that's something I really love about this plugin as well, is the built-in distortion algorithms. So I was sort of tweaking with it a little bit, but I really want to get into it. So we have crunch, crush, destroy, diode, distortion, germanium, metal, overdrive, soft clip, tape, tube, wave folder, transition or transistor, and thick. I love how many different distortion types this has. So I'm just going to start at crunch, and I'm going to turn the dry wet all the way up, and we're just going to audition a few of these. Also, let's talk about this UI. I love the way that looks. That is so cool. This seems like it's very quiet. Let's, oh, that's because the master's at -9. Oh. Okay, so crunch sounds really cool. Let's just flip through more. All right, crush is pretty cool. Ooh, diode is really crunchy. All right. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Oh, germanium. This sounds like super like hardware-ish to me. I don't know. This doesn't sound like so. This doesn't sound like as clean and digital as the other ones. Oh, yeah. Yeah, DJ Mecca, yes, you can. And I'm going to get into that as well. So interesting, and almost like The metal like doesn't even sound like acid. It just sounds so distorted. Ooh. Like the overdrive sounds like it's screaming. Ooh. Ooh, overdrive might be my favorite. I love that sound. Tape is like a nice subtle distortion. I really like that. I like how they all sound different when the drive is all the way down. And I also like how the volume isn't changing that much. This makes it super easy for me to just turn up the drive without having to constantly like adjust the volume, because I don't want to turn the drive down and it to get quiet and me to think, oh, this doesn't sound as good. Ooh. Hey, are you live often? I discover what you do on TikTok. Yo, thank you. So I go live every Thursday. I'm actually not going to be live next Thursday though. So I think my favorite one might have been Tube. So that is the drive section. Now, one quick thing, waveform, like on every Acid plugin, you can change from saw to square. I'm more of a saw guy myself. I really like saw. But then this button right here above the Acid V, it's like a little arrow. And this is like emulating like those modded 303s. And so in the modded 303s, you could actually go in and change like different things that weren't a part of the front end of the 303. So they have, I think it was called like the Devilfish back in the day. People would go in and mod the circuit board to make it do like crazy stuff. And this isn't necessarily that, but you can adjust like the different transistors on this. And I really like that as well. So we can adjust some of the favorite things that I've found that we can adjust is like the accent attack and the cutoff range. Because that's when that accent really goes from like just a louder pluck to more of like a wow. Wow. So the cutoff range is cool as well. If we turn this down, you can hear that the low doesn't go nearly as low. So if we turn this up, pitch tracking, I'm not quite sure what this does. Noise gain though. Really cool. I just like how it adds that like noise underneath it. And then clipper, I think it's just clipping it. I don't know. I don't hear a difference, but this is where I just really like the way it's sounding now. So I wonder if there is a way, I'm sure there is, to save this. Okay, awesome. We'll call this stream 10 sequence. So another thing I want to talk about is the randomization, because I touched on the randomization of Scion 2, but I think that this Arturia 5 randomization has it smoked. I think it has it beat by a mile. So you'll notice when I'm hovering over, you start to see these dice. Oh, my dog's going crazy. Hey! He going crazy. So every time I talk, hey. So, oh my God. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's like every time I open my mouth. What you doing? Ed! Come here, Bubba. Ed. My dog's name is Edgar. My dog doesn't approve of anything. Ed, come here. I'm gonna go get him. Come on. Come here. Come on, you got something to say? Say it. You were real talkative earlier. You don't want to say anything? You don't want to say anything? Edgar's a monster. He's scared. He's very anxious. I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, so yeah, these little dice right here. So what's cool is as you drag this dice up, it'll basically be the amount, or it's like a different seed almost. But as you drag it down, I think there's less randomization. I really like that. Also, you can change this density here to make more or less notes. You can do the same thing with the slides. Same with the accents. Ooh. That's cool. There's this gate knob right here. So this plugin is just so intuitive. And then I'm going to put Ed down. Everybody say goodbye to Ed. So this plugin's amazing. So I think one of my favorite parts about this too is this is something new I've never actually seen, is this polymetric button. You can see when I click it, everything changes down here. And what's happening is you can see this like white rectangle. It's moving across the this sequence all together. And if we hit polymetric, now they're all separate. And you'll notice these blue lines that start to pop up. And this is basically the step length per each track. So you can set a step length for the actual notes right here. So if we set this step length to 16, we can have the octaves have a shorter step length. And we can create all these polyrhythms by having different step lengths for each one of the slides, accents, and vibratos as well. So then if we press play, oh, it's actually re-triggering. Oh wait, yeah, it's re-triggering. So I'm gonna consolidate this MIDI clip and then, whoops, and then I'm gonna make one really long MIDI note. And so if we hit play, So you can get all these cool polyrhythms, and it's really fun. Let's go back to this stream 10 though. What is that? That's a race. This is... Oh, wait, what? Oh, that's really smart. Wow. Is there an undo on this too? That'd be insane. That would be like, that would save me so much time. I don't think there is. So if we go back to this step 10, stream 10 sequence. We can hit this times 2 and notice the steps down here will go from 16 to 32. Oh, that's the, yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna re-upload it. That's a bummer. I wonder if it'll save my thing though. User, yes. Okay, I'm gonna guess. I think we're on tube. Let's try to recreate this. Definitely there, definitely there. All right, I had this, the phaser off. That's close enough. So the last thing I want to talk about of this plugin, because I'm not going to keep using the demo, is you can also, just like Vision 2, export MIDI out of this. So I'll make a new MIDI track, and then where it says all ins, first of all, I'm going to delete this sampler. Blank MIDI track, I'm going to select all ins, Acid V again, and then I'm going to select in, and then if I hit record, so Steele, you actually didn't come just in time. You came just at the, you came a little late. I need to get this plugin in full, but this is Acid V by Arturia. It's so incredible. Definitely go support them. I think they have the best plugins in the game. And I'm not paid to say that. I don't work with them at all. I just love their products. I think they have the best products. So that's Acid V. So we have our main kick. We had that acid. Yeah, Steele, you should watch it back though. It definitely is worth it. Acid V is insane. I just spent so much time talking about that. I want to talk about another plugin company that I love though. And this is Noise Engineering. For those who don't, okay. So the plugin company Noise Engineering actually isn't a plugin company at all. Well, they are, but they aren't. So if you're into Eurorack, Noise Engineering is a modular synthesizer company. They make modules. I've owned a few of them when I used to have a Eurorack. They're so awesome. They're so cool. Something that I really like about Noise Engineering in the context of techno is they have like very noisy, harsh, like harmonically rich sounds. And that's kind of, in my experience, what they're known for, where other companies like Moog might have like very smooth, warm, full sounds. These sounds are crazy and just very rough and rugged. So when I'm using these plugins, a lot of times I like to have a sequencer with it because I'm not always getting very melodic results. And that's kind of why I like to use a sequencer, is to just generate some madness. So let's check out this first plugin, the Basilis Iteratas. Pretty sure that's how you say it. This is a Basilis Iteratas. Yep. This is a module that I've had, my friend has had. It's absolutely insane. It's supposed to be analog inspired digital percussion. So we have this in plugin form and it is so incredible. So I'm going to open up AS Steps. I know, Owen, you were asking me to go over that. The free distortion Rowena from them is crazy. It's insane. I'm going to go over that as well. So I have AS Steps loaded up. This is my sequencer. And by default, this is what's happening. What I really love about this plugin and what I love about every plugin is that has this is randomization. I love just being able to spam the random button and get crazy results. Also, this UI is trippy. Like, that's what I'm saying. They get really harsh really fast. Oh, but that sounds great too. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna set my scale at Phrygian and let's go up to G sharp. I'm gonna set my pitch range on AS Steps. What are we calling this one? Stream. Yep, the plugin is loud. Like, that sounds pretty crazy. Let's explore some of these other ones. So they have Desmodus, which I'm pretty sure is reverb. I don't even know what this is. This could be reverb, this could be a delay, but it's insane. Blend is like dry wet. Regen, I think, is like feedback. Tone can low pass or high pass. Density. Just really fills it in. Rowena is crazy. I'm not gonna hit random on this because I think I might blow your guys' ears out. Oh, that's really cool. So you can allow randomization on certain things. So I can disallow randomization on the blend. That's cool. Let's get like an open hat loop. Like, I don't know. It's that pitch. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Oh, that's why. So that is why I love these noise engineering plugins so much. Like, I love being able to randomize things. I love just having the freedom to just experiment, you know? I love SERUM. I love all these other synths, but sometimes I just want some like reckless stuff. So Desmodus is the reverb, Rowena is the distortion. I'm going to open up some of these other synths because Basimilus Atiritas is like a percussion one. You can still make synth sounds out of it, but this Curses Varior, I don't even know what this is saying, but let's listen to this one. Gets really harsh. So filter mix. Let's disallow randomization for filter mix. Disallow for attack. Disallow for release. I love how you can just disallow these. I know, the UI is crazy. So I don't really like this one as much. Let's go to Sync Varior. I can't say it. Oh my God, this UI is crazy. Like, I don't know what that is. It's cool though. So Luke, oh, show the MIDI. Okay, sorry about that. On TikTok, you can't see it. I'm using this sequencer called AS Steps, and this is what's actually sequencing. Like, let's change the reverb maybe. How's it doing that? I know, synthesizer. I've been thinking about trans all day. Yo, you seriously should. Synthesizer, I'm dead serious. You really should. That should be your thing. You really are too. Like when I saw that, I was like, damn, like you're onto something. So that's really cool. I think honestly, I'm probably gonna rock with that over something else. But let's open up another one because there's one more. This Vert Virior. I don't know how to say it. Where do you really? Okay, so hold on. Where do I release my tracks? I release them on Spotify, SoundCloud. My name is Hellbound. Check it out. I just put out 2 new songs with my friend Revel. And I also own a label called Nullsect where we release hard techno. And we're based in the United States. And we throw shows, we play shows. We're just trying to push the genre as much as possible. Do I do lessons? No, I don't do lessons right now. But DM me because I'm putting together something towards that. But no, not currently doing lessons. Let's check out this Vert Viori. I'm not even going to say. I'm just going to say the first thing. Vert. Oh my God, this is just tripping me out. Like, so I love these plugins. They're just so much fun. Like I say it all the time on my streams. I make music to have fun. And if you're not having fun, you're not going to write good music. So finding really fun plugins is a way I stay inspired because I love just diving into things and being like, yo, what is that? Like, what is this? You know, just trying to like learn all of these things is crazy. It's a lot of fun though. So, let me see what else I want to go over. So let's go ahead and I'm actually going to record the MIDI from this track. And I'll show you a little trick of how I arrange my tracks. So, I love the way that sounds. We'll call this main lead low. We'll call this main lead high. Let's delete everything we're not using because it's just going to get messy. Oh my God. How do I make this stop? I love that. The shh. It's like, fucking cut it out. All right. Oh, did I accidentally recorded automation? Damn, didn't want to do that. Okay. So what I like to do when I'm trying to arrange my song is I could arrange it this way, but it gets like kind of boring for me. And also I feel like it's very stagnant. Like it's not like very dynamic how you can arrange tracks. So something that I like doing is going into session view. Let me make all these tracks a little smaller. I like going into session view, and I'm pretty sure if I'm in my arrangement view and I have something like this. Wait, I want to put this, delete. So right, okay. So if I have this section of an arrangement here, I can make a loop marker and then right click and then consolidate time to a new scene. And what this is going to do is if I hit tab and go to my session view, now I have this scene right here where if I press play, so this is really cool. So what I like to do now that I have this in my session view is I'll duplicate this scene a few times and I'm just gonna start adding and subtracting things. Actually, before I do that, let me rename everything. I wanna rename all these kicks so I can see what I'm actually looking at. Delay, top loop, main lead, high, open hat loop. All right, that's all good. And then let me go to the clap fill, ride loop, clap. All right, so if I hit play over here on the master, TikTok, it's gonna be a little hard to see. Let me see if I can slide you over. So on the master over here, I can hit play and trigger these scenes. Yo, Jacob. No, I'm from Philly. I live in Philly. All right. So I like arranging my tracks in session view because it helps me get a lot more creative. So after I've consolidated everything to a new scene, I'm going to rename everything to make it nice and clean. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this scene a bunch of times. And the reason why I want to do this is, hold on one sec. I love the way, okay, but I love the way your keyboard clicks. It sounds so fake, like a cartoon. It's so funny. Yeah, I'm actually like, this next week, I'm converting to Mac all the way and getting like an Apple keyboard and everything because I'm tired of these clicks. But anyway, the reason why I like to do this, I'm duplicating the scene a bunch of times. And what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to start by deleting everything and just slowly bringing things in one by one. So maybe for this first scene, I just want the kick. And then maybe another scene, I just want the open hat and the kick. And then maybe for this next scene, I want the open hat, the closed hat, and the clap fill. And maybe for this part, I want this main lead to start creeping in. And maybe I want this to happen over a 16 bar period. So what I can do is double click on this main lead, and I'm gonna go to this ×2. Or no. I'm gonna go to this duplicate button. This is going to duplicate the track. And what I wanna do is I can put an auto filter on the track, hit this filter frequency right here, and then I'm gonna go into my MIDI clip, hit Alt-2, and this is going to bring up my envelope modulation inside the clip. So I'm just gonna have this auto filter up over time. So when I hit this scene 4, so maybe I want to go to the next scene now and have everything come in. So maybe this is everything playing at once. So maybe for this next section, I just want to take the kick away. And maybe this will be like my build. So I'll duplicate this session or this scene right here. Then maybe the next scene, I want to get rid of the ride loop. I jumped in a little early, but it's okay. Bring the ride loop back in. And then I think I want to take the kick out again. So I think for this next part, this is when I want to start bringing it in the, for this next part, I want to have the lead an octave lower. So maybe this is my breakdown, where I want to start introducing some sort of low. Let's see, why isn't my Ableton push working? Let's find what key I'm in. G sharp. Ooh, okay. Let's take one of these presets I've made. Why is this so detuned? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start recording this, ready? So that's recorded. Let's just go ahead and quantize everything. I'm gonna select A, hit Control Shift U. We're gonna quantize this to quarter notes, hit 100%, and then from there, I'm going to hit legato. So everything's nice and clean. So I'm gonna duplicate this scene again because I don't want this to happen right away. I want it to be, and maybe I'll find an impact. I'll turn this off loop. And then right. I'll duplicate this again, and maybe I want to bring in all these hats. Ooh, okay. I'll duplicate this again, and then we'll make this main lead an octave higher. Let's open up another SERUM, and we'll make a counter melody. All right, I like that. So, boom, boom, ba, dum, boom, ba, dum, boom. We're doing eighth notes. Let's make this. Fuck it, let's just record it. I don't know why I do this. It's gonna take me. I'm gonna put on. All right. Okay, so that's really messed that up, but it's, hey, it's something. We'll quantize it to eighth notes, and I'm gonna select all the notes and hit shift to the left and bring it all the way to the left so it's really small. Like each note is very short, and then I'm gonna bring it back to the right. All right, let's change up the lead. Let's do transgate. Synth power. I'm gonna adjust the velocity. And then maybe for this last phrase right here, I'm gonna have this Reese. Oh no, and then I want this. So that is just a very loose arrangement. I am, you know, this is not how quick I write tracks, but this is the general idea. I would normally spend a lot more time making sure each element is great, but this is why I like to write tracks like this. And so the best part of it is let's go ahead back to this arrangement and we're going to delete everything. Make sure that loop is off. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit record. So I'm going to make this first scene. I'm going to press play on this first scene. Then what I'm going to do is hit record and just whenever I feel like the song should progress to the next part, I'm going to click on the next part. And honestly, I might click not in order. I might just click around, you know, and I'm just going to like feel what I'm feeling and click around and I'll show you what's going to happen once I hit record. So let's hit record. So on TikTok, I'll switch the camera over here so you can see it a little bit better. And I think I'm gonna actually, one thing I want to do, let's start this over. Let me Control Z a few times. What I want to do is I actually want to copy this automation over as far as I possibly can, because this is what I want the kick to do. So now that I've done that, I'm going to delete all the automation. So let's go ahead. We're going to hit record again. What the hell just happened? All right. I press play on the first scene. Let's hit record again. Next scene. That was a little rushed. I'm gonna let this ride again. And let's go quick, throw an impact right here. And I'm gonna trigger this next scene. And I know this one is going to be my little like pre-drop. I'm gonna go to the next scene now. Next scene. You know, bring the ride back in. And I'm gonna copy this MIDI clip. Nah, I'll go back. All right, taking the kick out. And in techno, this is like how you progress tracks, you know? it doesn't always need to be like some big build up and some big riser. It just needs to progress, and you can take things away, add things. So now I'm taking away. And if I want, I don't need to follow the scene. I can be like, I feel like a clap could go there. So now I'm gonna add a clap to the next part of the scene. And now I want to add it just the open hat, so I'll click. And now I'm gonna do a scene with the counter melody. That was really abrupt, so I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna do feedback for the last like 15 minutes. I'm gonna be done talking about what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna hit stop. And then I can hit stop on the master. Hit end record, and this is the beauty. We performed that whole thing. Now if we hit tab, everything we just did is arranged on the track. Like, what? So this little orange button up here, that will end the session mode playing. So now we have the entire track we just performed here. And this is my favorite way to arrange a track, because it goes a lot off of emotion. Like, you set it up in the session view and you're just like, oh, I feel like I should add this. I feel like I should take away that. It feels like the song should use that, and you're doing it live on the spot. And then it's just there for you when you're done. It's awesome. So we can just... all the automations in there too. It's awesome. So, I mean, this song isn't fantastic by any means. I just threw together a few loops just so I could show this, but I really like how it came out, like, as far as I just arranged a 6-minute track, like, on the spot, you know? Like, I just wrote a 6-minute techno song on the spot. It's not a great one. It's not a fantastic one, but it's something, you know? And this really helps me, because sometimes I'll just be like stuck in a loop mode where I make like the full loop and I don't know where to go from there. This really helps me like get past that. Do I always start in session mode? Just hopped in. Not always, but when I want to like break out of a creative funk or learn how to arrange tracks better, yeah, I hop into session mode, and that's how I like arrange the track out, you know? It's a lot more fun, it's a lot more intuitive for me, it's a lot more emotional. I can ride off my emotions. Have I ever tried making trance? No, I haven't. Elit, where can I find kicks? If you just Google techno kicks, I'm sure you'll find some, but we have a sample pack coming out in September that has all these kicks and all the presets. Everything that I used in this track is coming out in September. So yeah, like these presets, these are all presets that are coming out. Samples are all samples that will be out. So look forward to that. But anyway, I'm going to get into listening to these demos. Let's go music feedback. I can only listen to a few today. So I'm going to start where I stopped. Got a nice reverse bass one. Yo, I'll definitely try trance. I love trance. Oh, this is out tomorrow? Cool. Gucci sliders and they still got the tag, yeah. Don't got a boatload, bitch, I'm rocking boatload. Hold up, who that hope though? Yeah, bitch, I go loco. Pop, pop, pop the photo. Now I need me folk mode. Smoking on that dope low, making money so low. Yeah, I've been producing for 10 years. Yeah, this techno, like hard dance shit's the meta right now. Oh. Yo, synthesizer, thanks for answering that. Yeah. Let me fly through a few more of these. Damn, there is so many. Honestly, I think I'm gonna hold all of these for the next stream, and I think I might add an addition. You know what I'll do? Okay, so I'm going to do a stream on Tuesday where I don't do any production. I'm just gonna go through some demos. I think that might be the move, because I have so many I have so many demos to go through and I don't want to wait like 2 weeks. So maybe I'll do a stream on Tuesday or something like that and just go through the demos, because I actually have to run right now. I'm going to an Eagles game right now. So yeah, I'm gonna have to run, guys. But that was a sick song. I wish I had more time. I did not plan on going to the Eagles game today. I just got a last minute free ticket. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be in touch, and just follow my socials. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Hop in the Discord, because that's where I typically announce when I'm doing streams. And yeah, I'm gonna do a stream on Tuesday where I go through everyone's tracks. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love y'all. Keep producing, keep making techno, and I'll see you later.